Justin Shorter didn't have a single drop in college, similar to frickin' Dalton Kincaid's sticky hands. Randy Moss saying that Justin Shorter's the best prospect in the last 15 years. We got to discuss the top 5 new faces for the Buffalo Bills in 2023 and which one of these guys are going to make the biggest impact for this team. But welcome to my channel, Bills News Consolidated. First on the list here is Justin Shorter, recently being named the most impressive prospect of the last 15 years per Randy Moss. Randy Moss is definitely high on Justin Shorter. Pro Football Focus is very high on Justin Shorter, saying that he has the most to gain out of any draft selection during this year's training camp. And you look at what the Buffalo Bills did with Justin Shorter, bringing him in to not only contribute on offense, to be that 6'4" jump ball situation type wide receiver. The physical skill sets are off the charts with this kid. It's just a matter of learning the game. Similar to what Gabe Davis said in his interview. You know, you could be the fastest, but if you don't understand the game, you're not going to be the greatest. You know, that's why players, wide receivers that run 4.5, 4.4, they're successful in the NFL. Wide receivers that run 4.2 are not. So Justin Shorter has the most to gain this training camp per Pro Football Focus. And we all know training camp, Bills are going against some top-notch talent. Justin Shorter going against Trey White, Dane Jackson, Kyer Elam, Christian Benford. So iron is truly sharpening iron in Buffalo. It's not like we're a horrible team and these players aren't going to get up to speed. They're getting a good sense of the NFL during training camp and practice. Now, this is absolutely huge. Justin Shorter being a top prospect, physical skill set prospect, I think is going to inspire and motivate players like Gabe Davis, players like Trent Sherfield and Deontay Hardy and Stephon Diggs. They're going to see this extreme athletic person behind them. And if he learns the game as much as a Gabe Davis, if he learns the game as much as a Stephon Diggs, the sky is truly the limit. But fourth on the list here for the Buffalo Bills, making an impact for us, I'm going to say is Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp being that Swiss Army knife on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that is something the Bills are going to have to deal with here, right? Going against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Travis Kelce's. Similar to what the Bills want to do with Dalton Kincaid, mixing between 11 and 12 personnel. Well, if teams do that against us with the Travis Kelce's, with the George Kittles, how are we going to play them? Taylor Rapp comes in, and Sean McDermott could be eyeing up a dime defensive role, calling dime instead of nickel, right? Having 4 defensive backs out there versus 3. And I think that is definitely something that teams are going to do against Dalton Kincaid. We've been talking about it. Are you going to match him up with a linebacker? Well, if you're not going to match him up with a linebacker, you're going to do a defensive back. And you could potentially run it out of that formation. Well, if we do that defensively, if we put Taylor Rapp as a defensive back on a tight end versus a linebacker, teams might want to run it against Taylor Rapp, but he shows some physical skill sets. And he could play safety, he could play nickel, he could play linebacker. Well, linebacker, Taylor Rapp is definitely truly a Swiss Army knife for the Buffalo Bills this upcoming season. Next on the list here at number 3 is Poona Ford. Man, Poona Ford is absolutely huge. A lot of people are saying he definitely has some pass rushing abilities, but listening to Steve Brown and Chris Tasker talk about that goal line situation and yesterday's practice, the practice where, national media was not allowed in, Steve Tasker, Chris Brown saying they did a lot of goal line work. DaQuan Jones and Poona Ford are immovable objects on that defensive line, and they assume that we're going to see a lot of them paired up together here, a lot of that formation paired up together, especially in goal line situations and short yardage situations. So Poona Ford is a huge addition to DaQuan Jones in this defensive line. Going against the Cincinnati Bengals last year, that final game during the playoffs, not having DaQuan Jones, watching Joe Mixon and Cincinnati be able to run the ball down our throat, utilize play action, and give T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd extra room, extra time to create space. It was just a disaster. So having Poona Ford, having DaQuan Jones on the field at the same time definitely shores up this run. And I think the Buffalo Bills even have depth. In case DaQuan Jones goes down, we still have Poona Ford. So I think Poona Ford, he's got a high motor. Listening to all the players, they said he's like an Energizer bunny out there. He's shorter, he's heavy, he's hard. Talk about the leverage game. I really, really believe Poona Ford is going to bring a big-time impact for the Buffalo Bills. Second on the list here is Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd is tearing things up, guys. He is having multiple sacks, rushing off the edge against Deion Dawkins, against Spencer Brown, Brandon Shell, David Quessenberry got in there for Dawkins. Got a little bit shaken up, I believe, yesterday. But guys, Leonard Floyd is an extreme specimen. He's a great athlete. He's that speed type rusher. You know, this is like bringing back Jerry Hughes, but a taller, longer, potentially faster Jerry Hughes. And you know what we still have? We got Von Miller. Last year we brought in Von Miller, lost Jerry Hughes. This year, we have Von Miller, we have Leonard Floyd, we have Shane Ray, the progression of A.J. Epinesa, Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, and the interior additions with Poona Ford, DaQuan Jones, Ed Oliver, Tim Settle being in his second year for Bills Mafia. You know, Leonard Floyd, to me, coming from a Super Bowl, having a great relationship with Von Miller, being able to mix and match and rush off that edge, I really think Leonard Floyd is going to have one of his best seasons of his NFL career. And he even said it, you know, in years past, he was in 3-4 schemes where they would have him drop back almost every other play. Now, he is in a rotation. We do rotate these defensive linemen, but he even said it in his interview. When you're out there, when he's out there, he's going to have 110% effort every single snap that he is out there. And he's going to be rushing every single snap. There's not going to be any dropbacks for Leonard Floyd. So I really think Leonard Floyd should see his sack numbers and his hits on the quarterback be the highest that he's ever had. And number one on the list, I think it's self-explanatory. I even mentioned his name earlier in this video. Tight end Dalton Kincaid, mixing between 11 and 12 personnel for Bills Mafia, dictating to teams, making it seem like we're going to pass, but we're going to run it with Damian Harris. Damian Harris is that other player I think is a huge, really was just under on the list. He really should be on the list. Damian Harris, the physical skill set, listening to Josh Allen talk about it, being mic'd up during that scrimmage game, and he's like, dang, talking to the players, he's like, you see how hard he hit that hole, Damian Harris? So Josh Allen's hyped up. I'm hyped up about Damian Harris. Dalton Kincaid is a huge addition here that's just going to open up this entire offense. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The Bills have the day off today. If you did enjoy this video, hit like, subscribe. That's how you support me and my efforts for everything I'm doing here. But I appreciate every single one of you. Deep down, we're going to take, this is the roadmap to the Super Bowl, Bills Mafia. But go Bills.